Hey everyone, this is Chris and Sandy Benton with the Chris and Sandy Show. We get up close and personal with some amazing guests throughout the entertainment industry. And today, like I said on every episode, we had a great one for you. Who do we have?
We have actress Cassie Scerbo with us today. She's been in Freeform's Make It or Break It, the Sharknado film series, Truth or Dare on Netflix, ABC's Grand Hotel, 911 Lonestar, and most recently, Amp House, The Plus One, The Fall, and TUBI original Off Season, all set to premiere this upcoming winter. Aside from her longstanding career as an actress, she is also vice president of the California state nonprofit Boo2Bullying, which is having their 4th annual Boo Ball Halloween fundraising gala to take place tomorrow, October 28th at SLS Hotel, Beverly Hills.
And we're excited to talk to her about all that and
a lot more.
So welcome to the show.
Welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here virtually.
Yes, we're excited to have
Thank God for technology, right?
Yes, especially during, pandemic and post-pandemic.
Yep. I mean, can you imagine if the pandemic would have happened, say, 5 years ago?
Right, yeah.
Yes.
Because at least we were able to still build, and speaking of the pandemic, being an actress and all that, how has that affected what you do and your organization? And how did you kind of maneuver through it?
It was a roller coaster. I'm not going to lie. At first, I was like, oh, this probably won't last too long. I get to go home and not stress, knowing that, like, no matter how much I wanted to, like, this is a forced break. And I get to just spend time with my family. I'm very close with my family. So I went back to Florida. I have a big, loud Italian family. We were cooking every night together and quarantining together. And I was actually enjoying it in the beginning until I realized, oh, this isn't going away. And obviously it put a huge halt on everything in the entertainment industry, and whatnot. I did film actually Amp House during the pandemic, like the very beginning of the pandemic. And that was just such a wild experience to be on my first set during a pandemic, just all the protocols, which obviously were so understood, but it was so different.
Yeah.
And all the rules and regulations surrounding, quarantining and whatnot. So, it definitely began to have more of a negative effect. It was very positive in the beginning because I enjoyed the forced break, because I'm one of those people that I'm very go, and I don't know how to stop. But then towards the end, I was like, oh no. And especially with the charity, we're so used to doing in-person school programs and community outreach. That's our only thing, that we had to really switch everything up and veer towards, online streaming and doing Zoom, programs, which now that we've got it all figured out, it is, there is a positive in that we can do both online
at the same time.
Yes,
we can reach more people. And we just recently began doing our programs with the students of Nairobi, Kenya. And it's a blessing that we can do that from our home and we can connect with them all the way over in Nairobi. So, it's the yin and the yang, right? There's a positive and negative to everything great and big that happens in life, whether positive or negative. So, you can always find the yin and the yang in it all. So,
that's like when we launched the show, it was January 2020. So a couple months before everything. And our original plan was maybe 100 interviews first year to kind of build the foundation. And then everything starts getting shut down. As I'm watching, I told Sandy, I was like, this might be our time to shine, because everybody's going to have time to come on a brand new show.
Exactly.
And I'll be honest, if I was launching now in the entertainment industry with a show like this, I probably would not launch, because everybody, every actor, every musician, everybody has their own podcast now. And it's like, it would be really tough to get traction. I'm just glad we launched right before the pandemic.
Right. Yes. Good timing on your part then, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about your Boo2Bullying gala tomorrow.
Yeah. Tomorrow, the 28th at the SLS Beverly Hills from 6 to 11 p.m. We have some wonderful performers. We have Taryn Manning, Jamie Miller, Louis Knight, Katie Welch, Justin Jesso, Jamie, did I say Jamie Miller? Jamie Miller, Louis Knight, Katie Welch, Justin Jesso, Taryn Manning. Who am I missing? Oh, and Mackenzie Soul, who's like this phenomenon, and we are so grateful to have. Every interview, there's one name that I like have to go back to
yes.
right? But yeah, we have these 6 incredible performers. We have Jonathan Bennett and his wonderful husband, James Vaughn, co-hosting the evening. They're dear friends of mine, and they are just my favorites. And we're going to have a silent auction. It's actually online now. You can go to the link in my bio on Instagram, which is my name, at Cassie Scerbo, or Boo2Bullying's bio. There's a link for the silent auction. And yeah, we have celebrity magician Eric Blackwell that's going to be going around and doing magic, and all for a very important cause, a cause that means the world to me. So we're very excited. The theme is the golden age of Hollywood. And yeah, so we're all very excited. We haven't had an in-person event in Los Angeles in quite a while. So this is
ready.
very excited for, and very grateful to all of our sponsors and just everybody who has truly worked countless hours. You know, there's so much that goes on behind the scenes, the blood, sweat, and tears that have been put into this. And I mean, I was up until 3 a.m., you know, doing emails with my team. I mean, we're all just very excited, very
You'll
grateful.
probably be up tonight too, huh?
Yes, I will be. But we have a wonderful committee that has worked tirelessly. So very, very.
How long have you been doing this event?
This is our 4th annual. And yeah, so Boo2Bullying has been around a bit over a decade now, but this is our 4th annual Boo Ball. And yeah, just Dimitri, our incredible founder. He's like a brother to me. He has a heart of gold. Him and I are just so excited for tomorrow. We're on cloud 9, truly.
So tell us a little bit about what brought the event, about the whole organization on.
Well, October is National Bullying Prevention Month. Okay. So it's very fitting to have our annual event in October. And, you know, it just kind of all fell in place. Boo2Bullying, Boo Ball, Boo.
Love the names.
You know, like it just worked. And it just all felt very meant to be, very kismet. You know, I forget who even originally came up with the idea of the Boo Ball years ago in a board meeting, but it all fell into place so wonderfully, and it's been our most successful event every time we do it. So we're hoping for and already seeing that this year will be our most successful, which we're so excited about. You know, every year the organization grows so much. We have so many allies that support us and that love us, and that's what it really takes. It takes a tribe. It takes support. It's not a one person or even a few people gig. It takes a lot of people to really drive home a movement and to put together an event. So we have a wonderful committee that has just been on text and email and calls for months now. Absolutely just nailing it.
So you being an actress, when did it click for you that being an actress could be a career move?
I wanted to be an actress. I mean, I feel like a lot of people who are in the entertainment industry, they have that moment, like, I saw so-and-so in this movie, and I just knew after that performance I wanted to be like her, which is amazing. Me, I came out of the womb like, I'm going to be an actress. You know what I mean? I always loved performing. I would put on little performances for my family. God bless them. Like sit through nightly performances, whether it was singing or dancing or putting together a little sketch. I just loved performing. I loved seeing the reaction on people's faces and bringing a smile to people's faces, as cliche as it may seem, or even just really connecting with someone through your art. And, you know, sometimes the projects we do, they hold so much value, and they really allow for us to open up conversations on an extremely important subject matter and to shed light on extremely important subject matter. So for me, all of it was just, it was something I wanted to do. I just wanted to impact people in the best way that I could and start those conversations and bring smiles to people's faces. I've always wanted to be an actress, and I'm blessed to say that I have had the ability to do what I love most in this world for a living since the age of 10 professionally. And so much of that goes to my family. You know, when you're that young, you need the support, whether it's everything, the mental support, the financial support. My mom would drive me back and forth to auditions from Parkland, Florida to Miami multiple times a week. And she was so committed and dedicated to my passions, and just such a selfless woman. My parents actually came to town for the event last night. So happy to have them here, but it takes, you know, support, and just there will be a lot of rejection, and you just have to stay strong and continue on and believe in yourself more than anything in the world. And that's what it really takes. And I'm so happy that it's my, I get to have it as my profession, my passion.
A lot of people see the glory in what you do, but they don't see the grind, the sacrifice, the tears, the struggles it takes to build a career in the entertainment world.
Mm-hmm.
And I always want to talk about that because I think it's glossed over in the industry. So take us back a little bit. What has been some of the sacrifices then and even now that you've had to make to get to where you are?
So many. I'm so happy you brought that up. I try to be as transparent as possible, but obviously we love to share the positives. You don't want to always be a Debbie Downer, and it's important to also celebrate.
We try to hit both sides.
Yeah, to celebrate your wins, but it's so important to talk about that because not many people do know or do see, the behind the scenes. My parents always did a really good job at ensuring that I always had the balance of a normal life as well as, being in the spotlight. And I even though I was being homeschooled my last 2 years of high school, I still went to my prom with one of my best friends, Johnny.
Oh, wow.
And, I actually did my very first big, movie premiere. We had held it at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas, my beloved high school. And yeah, I got the opportunity to be with all of my family and friends, but also show them my project. So I always tried to find the balance, but it is a lot of rejection. It can really tear at your mental if you're not, so sure of who you are. And that's what we promote so much in, with our charity is being so certain of who you are and how the importance of self-confidence and the importance of self-love, which in my opinion isn't, I say this all the time, but it's not like, hey, I'm perfect now, so I deserve to love myself. It's I love myself right here, right now, all the good, the bad, and the ugly. I accept who I am. I'm willing to grow. I'm willing to throw out the negatives and focus on the positives, whatever it may be. But it's really just about accepting. And I've always just done a really good job at accepting who I was. I'm a very religious person. I've always, and spiritual even more so. So I've always just really had that faith and believed in myself. And when things got hard, I always say when life brings you to your knees, you're in the perfect position to pray. I did a lot of reading. And whatever that is too, whatever your, we don't, discriminate. I don't discriminate. Whatever your religious beliefs are amazing. And, as long as they're keeping you positive and a good person and allowing you to really believe in yourself and fuel you to continue to move forward, then, more power to you. It's not an industry for the weak. It is.
Right. And no matter what part of entertainment.
Right. It's, it's a lot of rejection at the end of the day. And also, and rejection on projects that you might want more than anything in the world. Like you've already envisioned yourself on that set. You know what I mean? Like you're there and mentally, and then they're like, nah, sorry, you're not the one for it. But that doesn't mean you're not amazing. That just means they didn't choose you for this, and your time will come. And we all have our time, our own time and, to shine. And it's about celebrating, that person that did book that role. That was their time. And, remaining in an attitude of gratitude, as I like to say, and as we say at Boo2Bullying. And that's all you can do in life. A positive mind leads a positive life, and it's all about your mindset. So just staying strong in your mind and knowing that just because someone else didn't like you for a part, it has nothing to do with you. As long as
it could be so many things. It could be that you remind them of somebody.
Yeah.
And how many times have you been rejected and you watch the film and you're like, okay, now I see why I didn't get the
for sure, and also at the end of the day, what was I just gonna say? I lost it. I had a whole train of thought I was about to get onto. What was I just about to say? It'll come back to me. But what I was going to say, another really hard thing for me has been stereotyping. I'm a huge believer in break the stereotypes. I feel like there have been times where I've been put in a box and I refuse to be put in a box. So it just gives me that much more energy and excitement to prove people wrong. Because I know who I am, and that's all that matters at the end of the day. And I know my capabilities, and I feel like I'm doing that. Just moving into new avenues and trying to get on the producing end of things, and also driving my charity forward and taking on new projects. one of the projects I just did last November called The Fall, that should be coming out soon. I don't have a date yet. They were not considering me for it. And
wow.
I said, just let me tape for this. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
one
sure.
of my friends, Jordan, was like, just let her tape for this. He was, on the producing end of things. And when they saw my tape, they're like, oh, well, that's it. She's the one for this. And so it is also fighting.
So that extra step you took.
Yeah, you have to fight for yourself. It's not always going to work out. And I believe that everything happens for a reason, but that was my turn. That was my win, and that was my time with that film. And I was really grateful to just play a new kind of character. And it takes a lot of strength and a lot of perseverance at the end of the day, but it's not easy. It can become very overwhelming. I definitely just naturally have always dealt with, anxiety. And I used to, when I was younger, I would get panic attacks. So it's really about just knowing that that's going to pass. It always does. See the light at the end of the tunnel, and just it's okay sometimes to not be okay. It's nothing in life, whether it's the entertainment industry or something else, nothing is perfect. But we learn so much in those moments when we're having like more of a down spell in whatever that may be, or however that manifests for you. That's when I've learned the most in my life. That those moments when I would struggle with anxiety or whatever it may be has made me 10 times stronger now. Like, it's worked out for the better. And it's also made me understand people so much more, which is so important in what I do with Boo2Bullying, really understanding people and mental health. I mean, there's so much of there's so many parallels between mental health and bullying. So had I never gone through anything in life, I wouldn't.
Because hurt people hurt people.
Hurt people. And I bring her up in every interview. As my dear friend Alexis Salvaggio says, healed people heal people.
Yep.
And the good will always prevail. It'll always win. The good always wins over the bad. So keep prevailing. Don't let anything or anyone stop you. And if you're going through something in life, just know that whatever it is that you're going through is going to make you 10 times stronger. And Alexa also always says, what would life be without contrast? You wouldn't know good days without bad days. You wouldn't know light without the dark. So
you can't have a rainbow without the sun and the rain.
Exactly. We love rainbows at Boo2Bullying. We are very LGBTQIA+ positive. We love it. So yeah, we love those rainbows, baby.
And we understand exactly where you're coming from with rejection. I mean, I probably get 100+ rejection emails a month trying to book guests. And it's like, and I'm like you, I don't give up. I remember we there was one guest we were trying to get, and they would turn us down. A month later, I email again. A month later, I email again. It was like 6 months. 6 months after it, I remember the manager of the artist emails back and says, you're asking for 45 minutes. He says, even if we could do an interview, he could only do 10 minutes. Or he said 5 to 10 minutes. And I emailed back and said, we can do, I didn't even hear the 5. I was like, we can do 10 minutes.
Right.
So again, if I didn't keep on it, we would not have gotten that interview.
As long as that passion is there, you remain persistent, it will happen for you.
And it's definitely been a crazy time. I mean, it's like, but again, we owe a lot to the pandemic, because I don't believe we would be half of the guests we've had on, because we've had 600 guests since January 2020.
Amazing. Congrats, guys.
That would not, I just don't think that would have happened if America didn't slow down.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely.
Now speaking of the rough times and all that, let's flip the script and go the other way. What are a few moments where you're like, wow, that happened, or wow, I got to do that?
Every time I'm on set, it'll never get old to me. I'm where I dreamt of being. I'm the second I was born, basically. And I'm grateful for every opportunity and every person I meet along the way. They are a part of my journey. And I learned so much from every actor, director, producer. I'm just so grateful. And I would say one really exciting moment was when my cast and I from Make It or Break It, the girls and I, found out that we were nominated for our first Teen Choice Award. I just like remembering that moment. It was so exciting. And so just moments like that, being on the early show, Good Morning America, singing the national anthem at LA Galaxy, the Dodgers stadium, you know, I also sing, and I used to be in a girl group signed to Geffen. So I loved that whole experience, and getting to go to, you know, con and perform, and just, you know, events in New York and performing with them on, I believe it was either the morning show back then, or not the morning show, that's a TV show now that I love, the early show, or Good Morning America, just all those experiences. When Sharknado came out of nowhere as this huge success, and the whole world was tweeting about it, that was a wow moment. And it was silly, but I still, doesn't matter how silly a script is, I did my 100%. And to be honest, I tell people, that was one of the most challenging roles I've ever taken on.
Yeah.
You can sit there and say, like, you know, when you have those really hard scenes in like a dramatic film, right? Well, comedy is a little bit harder, but let's just say a dramatic film where you're crying and grieving the loss of a loved one, or you're going through a breakup. Like, those are things that either we've been through or we're somewhat familiar with. We've seen a Sharknado. Pretty sure no one's ever seen that. So when you like neon sticker and you're told, okay, and boom, the Sharknado hits, and you're on green screen in the middle of, you know, a foreign country, which we were so blessed to travel all over. You're like, you know, it takes a lot of internal work to be like, what would this actually feel like? What would my reaction be to a Sharknado? It's ridiculous. It's amazing. And ridiculous in the best way.
I love it.
To see that blow up, it just really goes to show that you never know what's going to hit. And that was a win. That was so exciting. I got to travel the whole world basically in my 20s with that film. And we have fans all over the world that are so dedicated. And just all the Comic-Cons that I got to attend, and all the wonderful people I got to meet along the way. So there have been a lot of moments in the entertainment industry and that side of my career that I've been so grateful for. And on the philanthropic side, you know, standing up for not only bullying, but standing against sex trafficking. And I've done some work with the Thirst Project, who I wholeheartedly believe in. I love their mission. CHLA, you know, visiting the hospital, Padres, like I Am Hope organization, I was an ambassador for, and, you know, visiting their hospitals and their patients and families. So all of those to me are just such significant moments, just being able to really comfort other people and stand up for what's right, and give all that I can to the causes that I wholeheartedly believe in. Another very, very proud, more so moment for me was very recently when a documentary called Code Red, Youth of the Nation came out that I'm an executive producer on. I teamed up with a dear friend of mine that I've known for a really long time, Conor Riley, and his family. And he did so much research the past 4 years, edited and directed this, was a part of the editing, but directed this film just immaculately. It's so hard hitting, but it is so incredible because it is solution-based, really showing what went wrong at my high school. That's where this whole idea stemmed from. My high school was the Parkland High School, was Marjorie Stoneman Douglas, my beloved high school. And there's no words to ever explain the heartache and how that affected me. But I said it then and I'll say it now. I'll take every single piece of my shattered heart and use it to, you know, ensure that we can find a way, and we have found ways to for schools to simply just be more safe, so that children can go to school to simply learn and to be kids again. And the documentary is set up in a format where there's 11 lessons, and it really shows what we can do now. And I believe that if everybody were to watch this documentary, there would and there will be so much change, because there's so much that people don't know as to why that happened, that awful, tragic massacre, and how we can prevent it from happening again, from policies people are unaware of, to mental health, to AB. I mean, the list goes on, and it's just very, I urge you, if you have not watched this documentary yet, I urge you to watch it, because we can and will save lives with this documentary. I really believe that with the bottom of my heart. And, you know, we will carry out the legacies of our 17 Eagle Angels and ensure that we do some good, that we take a terrible, the worst situation in the world, and that we do, you know, some good coming out of it, and that we help make a change.
Yeah, because I think that we haven't hit the surface yet with the mental health that's going to come from the pandemic.
Oh yeah, well, even prior, it was said that mental health right now is a crisis in the United States. I actually got an email from my healthcare yesterday saying that they're now going to be doing anxiety screenings, like
Oh, wow.
I believe, as a part of the yearly physical, which is so important. We're dealing with a lot right now. The world is heavy, and we need to all, we need to break those stigmas surrounding mental health. I say, like, we talk about physical health all the time, going to the gym, eating healthy, sleeping. Sure, great, amazing. But like, your mind is just as or even more important. I feel like it really has so much power in how we feel physically and just in our lives and in eradicating these terrible, hate acts and mass shootings. And, when people are happy with who they are and they're solid and they're taking care of their mental, these things don't happen. Do you know what I mean? Like, even with you don't see like someone who's very sure of themselves and happy and in like a beautiful place in their life, wherever that may be, whether they're younger or older. You don't really see them going around bullying people. They don't do that. You know what I mean? And so, it's really important. Mental health is something that I'm very passionate about. I feel like everybody deserves to have mental health care. I know how it can just be so expensive, which really breaks my heart, because the most important thing for people who are struggling is, in my opinion, well, there's a lot of different cases, but one, to seek therapy, to get these things out of your body, because they can become really heavy and hold you down. And two, if there's a certain medication needed, I mean, everyone's different. Everyone has their own beliefs. Everyone has a different type of, the people who do struggle, they struggle on different levels, but it's so important that we're not only taking our bodies to the gym, that we're taking our mind to the mental gym, that we're tuning up from time to time. Do you know what I mean? Really, mindset, in my opinion, is everything. So, yes, that project, Code Red, Youth of the Nation, out on Amazon, very important to me. There is a bit on mental health, but just so much more that I really want to make sure everyone is aware of. And like I said, the team that put this film together and pieced, all of us and Conor especially, who pieced this film together, did an immaculate job of conveying exactly what we needed to convey. So if you can, please go watch it. And
I remember Zig Ziglar used to always say, people would tell him, because I'm a big believer in motivation stuff, and people used to always tell him, well, motivation don't last. And he would always say, neither does bathing, but we recommend you do it daily.
Exactly.
Because there's a lot of resources on YouTube now that, although it's not the same as therapy, of course, I'm not trying to compare the two.
Oh, no, of course.
But if you're not like over the edge yet, there's a lot that you can put into your mind.
There's absolutely resources. And that's one thing I did want to say, since the pandemic, I also feel like we have had more of these conversations. People are opening up, and we are breaking the stigmas. That's still awesome. Not enough. We got more to do, baby, but we're getting there, and it's starting. And I'm so proud when I see this happening. And even myself, I started opening up more during the pandemic about these things. And I started, because I was stuck at home and I don't know how to sit still, I started the B2B one-on-one series, which we're on a large hiatus, but we will get back to eventually. There's just a lot going on, but it was so important. I had so many incredible people come on and talk about their bouts with bullying, mental health, and so on and so forth. And just seeing how much it resonated with people and really lifted people up to not feel isolated in whatever it is they're going on, because I genuinely feel that negativity really manifests in isolation when you're not talking about it, when you feel like out of place or weird or shamed. I hate shame. And Brene Brown does such a good job. I love her so much, talking about how to just like eradicate that shame, right? Or the self-bullying, making you feel the shame. We talk a lot about self-bullying, but I mean,
because you're the biggest bully of them all is yourself.
Exactly. And as my friend Anna Lynn always used to say, if the voice in your head was a person, would you befriend it? It's really important, because oftentimes, we can get down on ourselves. We're our own worst critics. And it's really important to make sure that we turn that self-bully into a self-cheerleader. And once again, that doesn't mean we're perfect. That means we accept it all, and we love, we give ourselves that love that we so deserve. You know what I mean? And oftentimes, just going back, that loneliness, that isolation that people, place on themselves when they're going through a hard time. It's like, look, I always say there's over 7 billion people in this world. I promise you, there is absolutely at least one, more so many people that are going through exactly like whatever it is that you are going through right now. You're not alone. And that's the Boo2Bullying slogan. You're not alone, because the the weight that is lifted after you just speak things out of your body and realize that you're not crazy and that you're just human and we all have our own things is so important. It's so important to lift that weight, you know, and you are going through a hard time. Just know, like, and I promise you this, because I've been there. I dealt with a lot of loss when I was younger. My best friend was murdered.
Wow.
Domestic violence situation. It was a murder-suicide. Stephanie, I love her, and I will always carry on her legacy as well. It's an S with an infinity.
Well, you've been through a lot.
Yeah, and in times when you're either grieving or suddenly your grief manifests because you bottled it up or maybe tried to disassociate with it, when it suddenly hits you and you haven't talked about it or you haven't grieved about it, you know, really terrible things can manifest. And so if you're going through a dark time, whatever that may be, just know that there is always, always, always a light at the end of the tunnel. I say this on basically every interview because I want anyone who's out there struggling to know, like, I'm with you, I got you, I understand. And no matter how dark that cloud above your head seems or how like dark that tunnel seems, there's always a light at the end of it. And I've gone.
I went through 19 years of addictions.
Yeah. Okay. There you go. Yeah. I'm like, I've
been sober almost 15 years now.
Wow. Congrats. That's amazing, Chris. Thank you for sharing that with me. And like, I'm sure like you can understand this next part. It's like, I know you will. You have your best days post that dark tunnel. You will go on to having you're celebrating your biggest wins and finding the greatest love and finding all the success. It will happen and it will fall into place. It always, always does. You just got to trust it. And as Alexa always says, it's just like this for now. It's not permanent.
It's temporary.
Good or bad. So if it's good, don't self-sabotage. Just enjoy the moment. And then if you have a down spell, that's okay. But enjoy and don't think too far ahead. And if it is bad, no, it's going to go away. It always does.
You know, like they say, never make a permanent choice for a temporary decision.
Yes. And that is huge for us because we, you know, really work hard with suicide prevention because we're seeing it more and more in our youth. And it is absolutely gut-wrenching. No child deserves to feel that lonely, that isolated, that miserable, that depressed, where, you know, they want to take their own lives. They have so much more life to live. And every single person, if you're watching this, you are here for a reason. I promise you. If you're here, stay. You're meant to be here and you will find your tribe. And there's so many people out there that will support you. You can start with Boo2Bullying. You can start with me. I'm sure Chris and Sandy will be there to support you. You have
absolutely
so much.
Yeah, the first 5 years of our marriage was hectic on her because I was in the middle of those addictions but you know, she did the one thing or the two things that she only knew she could do was, of course, give it to God, and second, uplift me anytime she can, because she understood that a lot of it was probably based on my past, and it was. And then finally one day I woke up and pleaded with God, and I feel like he healed me almost 15 years ago, but I knew that I was destroying this marriage. And I don't believe if I didn't get sober when I did, our kids wouldn't be here. We got a 10-year-old now and almost a 4-year-old.
Yes.
That's so exciting. Congrats. That's such a huge accomplishment. You must just be so proud of yourself. You know, we also deal with addiction within, you know, with Boo2Bullying. We talk a lot about, you know, whether it's, you know, our youth, their parents are going through something that's, you know, having an effect on them, or maybe some teens we speak to are dealing with addiction. I've had friends that have dealt with addiction, and it is really a disease, and it needs to be viewed as such, but also you need that support surrounding you, and you need to want it yourself. And it sounds like after you had the talk with God, you really wanted it yourself. And that's so amazing. I commend you, because that's not easy. Addiction is so, so difficult. So I commend you.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Now to pull all this together, as you know, it takes a team. Everybody see you, but they don't see the team around you. In our opinion, teams never get any love. On our show, they get some love.
I love this. I could go on. We'll be here all day.
Take a few moments and just tell us about the team that helps you be who you are.
Yeah, I'm nothing without my team. My team starts with my family, my mom, my dad, who are here, like I said, in town. They're so sweet. They're out getting me gas right now. They're getting me gas. They're getting my car washed. I'm like, so it starts with the family, my brother, my sister, Elena and Johnny, their husband and wife, and They're my beautiful nieces. That's my support right there. My 4 girls, Katerina, Valentina, Sienna, and Frankie. And then you've got your best friends that lift you up when you're away from home. I live far from home. I've got my Boo2Bullying family, which is my family away from, my own family.
Mhm.
And they are my world. We've got Dimitri Halkidis, our president and founder, who's like, he is my brother at this point. And he is just a heart of gold and just the best. And I love him so much. And he, is always there to champion me, to support me. We just, the both of us running this organization, and we just get to experience so many wonderful wins together. And challenges that we come out of 10 times stronger that we've learned from, it's all a learning process. And for example, with these events, like just how much we've grown and learned from them. So I'm really grateful to Dimitri, to all of my board, my advisory board, my ambassadors, I shouldn't say mine. And my best friend Brittany, my best friend Laura, my best friend Mackenzie from back home, my guardian angels, my best friend Steph, all my guardian angels. I pray to them often. They're definitely a huge part of my support, my team. And everything from I keep mentioning a friend of mine, Alexa. I also have an incredible friend, Maya. They're just and an incredible friend, Jane, in that group. Just women that truly champion each other and lift each other. We all lift each other up continuously, and just it's so nice to be able to have a group of girlfriends that you don't feel weird celebrating your wins with, or like humble brag with them, and also celebrating their wins. They're all so incredible. Acting coaches throughout the years. I feel like acting is like psychology in itself. So much in acting and with the mentors. And then, I have my team. I have my manager, Beverly Strong, who, I met Beverly when I was 17. She believes in me and I love her. We love each other. So that's a great thing to have, a manager that really believes in you and loves you. And I have a wonderful agent, Nick, and a PR team over at Anderson Group PR. And we have on this event an amazing, and for Boo2Bullying, our PR team, The Influence, they are doing an unbelievable job. We are on calls all day long. They have been hustling, and they have secured amazing talent and amazing outlets that are going to come and speak to us, that we can continue to shed the light on what we're trying to accomplish. And I'm probably missing a million people because I love everyone. Even I'm inspired by strangers around me. You know what I mean? And to the students that I speak to, they inspire me just as much as I hope that I inspire them. So it's like a team. I'm sitting here like racking my brain. I'm like my nail person, my hair person, my cleaning lady, everyone around me. I love people. I'm a people person. So my dog Gucci.
There you go.
When I was 18, but Gucci. But no, he's the best. He's actually the background on my phone. Look at this little pumpkin.
Oh, that's adorable. Oh,
so anyway, I thank you for bringing that up. It is so important to always acknowledge the people around you that help you do what you do.
And speaking of teams, we have a third co-host, our 10-year-old,
we do, who's a part of
that usually comes on to ask a couple questions. So Sandy's going to go get him.
Oh wait, I also want to say a big thank you to Jordan Cooker. Sorry, I had to say it because in case he's watching right now, so much of an ambassador of ours who's just been doing so much work to ensure a successful event. But now I want to meet this person.
I'll go get him.
So say while we're waiting for him to come in, what's kind of next for you?
I have a few films coming out in which you had said in that beautiful intro. Thank you so much. And just more efforts with Boo2Bullying. We just produced an animation, which I was EP on. And I also play the voice of Parker. It premiered at Comic-Con, and we've been playing it at our younger school assemblies, and it's doing so well. A dear friend of one of my best friends, Katie Welch, who also part of the team, love her so much. She'll be performing Friday, as I said. She created a program called Cape Nation, and Cape stands for Courage, Appreciation, Personal Health, and Education. And it is our K-3 program. So the sky's the limit. I'm a busy person. I like to keep busy, I should say. Like I want to just keep going and going. So the sky's the limit, and whatever I can do in the philanthropy world and my acting and entertainment world, and merging the two.
You stay busy.
Hi there. Yes.
Hi.
What's your name?
Christopher.
So nice to meet you, Christopher. How are you today?
Doing good.
Good.
Yes. Hi, Cassie. So, what's your favorite food?
My favorite food? pizza. Obsessed. I know everyone tries to like hop on this new, like, I'm the pizza addict. I'm the original pizza OG addict. Like, I love pizza. Get down.
Because what's yours?
Mine's pizza.
Yes! You get it. I mean, bread, sauce, and cheese, you can't go wrong. What's your favorite topping?
Pepperoni sauce and supreme and pineapple.
He's got 4 faves.
Oh,
He can't pick just one. He likes 4 different ones.
he likes them all. I usually, honestly, just go for plain or pep. I'm a simple. I like a New York. Now, do you like a New York style pizza? Do you like the thicker Sicilian? Do we like a Papa John's, like a fun, like fast food type pizza? Because I love them all.
He normally eats Little Caesars.
Little Caesars, so good. Sometimes I enjoy that kind of pizza even more than like when you go to the fancy restaurant. It's all like pretty and thin. And I love Napolitano style sometimes, but like I want a pizza when I'm going for a pizza. Like, give me the grease, give me like the nice dough. You know what I mean? So I'm with you. I'm with you, Christopher.
All right. So, what's your TV show?
Oh my God, I have so many. You know, Succession is at the top of the list on HBO. Incredible writing, incredible actors. I also love My Brilliant Friend on HBO. It's an Italian show. I'm an Italian gal, so I do love that show. Guilty pleasures: Love Island UK, The Bachelor. I love them. They're fun. What about you?
Mine's SpongeBob.
Oh, nice! I love that. We love SpongeBob. You have to check out our animation that we just did if you like cartoons. We just did one called Parker and Boo. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, on YouTube. It's on YouTube right now.
We'll have to check it out.
Yes.
All
right, so what's for a movie?
Ooh, this is hard because I have a lot of favorites. Being an Italian girl from New York, I do love like The Godfather, Goodfellas, you know, some of those films, I'm not going to lie. I also love The Departed, Basketball Diaries, one of Leonardo's not very first, but films when he was younger. Oh, his performance was just incredible. Romeo and Juliet, clearly big fan of Leo's work. The Notebook.
That's my wife's favorite.
Mean Girls is one of my favorites, which I'm so excited because my dear friend Jonathan, who I've now worked with in 3 different movies, Aaron Samuels, is going to be hosting our event tomorrow. So, and with his husband, super exciting. But yeah, those are some of my favorites. Breakfast at Tiffany's, good one.
And
what about you?
Mine's Minions.
Okay, that's a fun one. Don't you have like a Minions ride now? I think they have it at like maybe Universal or Disney. Have you been on it?
Not yet.
Not yet. We haven't been down there.
Not yet. Soon enough.
Yeah. All right.
Bye. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Wow, have a great day.
Yeah, he loves to be on the show. In fact, next year he's probably going to start his own little podcast.
That's incredible, as he should. That's amazing. Yes, you keep persevering. That's incredible. I love that. Thank you.
So with everything that you got going on, where do you want to be in 5 years?
That's a very loaded question because Cassie Scerbo, someone like me, I just want to do everything. So I got to really prioritize, right? I'm learning that. I'm learning prioritizing. I want to be doing films that are really meaningful to me. That, you know, I really want to be taking on projects that just have great scripts and great directors and producers and actors, you know, attached. Acting's being on set's my happy place. So I want to continue to do great projects and be able to give my all and give myself to everything that I get the opportunity to be a part of. And I want to continue producing. I want to learn more about it because I still have a lot to learn. And that's the beauty of life. We're always going to be a student at this thing, and I love learning, so that's a good thing, I guess. Because there is a lot to learn on that end. And then, you know, one day I would love to start directing. I've started by just buying a bunch of books, but, you know, just, you know, I want to definitely start shadowing some of my favorite directors. You know, I have a lot of wonderful director friends and getting behind the cameras, but I'll always stay in front because your girl loves to act. It fills my soul like nothing else. But, you know, and with the charity, we just want to continue to be everywhere we can be and continue to take the organization global and to eradicate bullying and to champion, you know, those who are promoting self-love and kindness and to continue preaching inclusivity, equality. With Boo2Bullying, I mean, so much has happened as of recent. I'm just so proud of us. And I feel like I just can't wait to see what else is to come between the animation, Cape Nation, our events, the schools that we're getting into, new pilot programs, and just all of the initiatives. I'm so proud of my team. So yeah, I would say in 5 years, I just want to keep growing all of these things that I've been working at for a long time now. You know, it is a process, one foot in front of the other. And little by little, I'm getting there, you know, doing the things I've always wanted to do, being an activist and a philanthropist, and I'm an actress, and getting on the producing end, and hopefully one day directing. I know that there's a lot that goes into that, and I'll have a lot to learn, but I'm ready for it. So
now let's look 15, 20 years down the road, and let's say
you're married to someone like really lovely in 5 years.
But let's say you're a success on a grand scale, whatever that looks like for you, you've made it. What do you hope you never forget along that journey?
Oh my God, I don't want to forget any of it. I think it's all about the journey, not just the destination. That's life. That's what makes it so grand. The ups, the downs, the in-betweens. You know, I don't want to have a boring life. I want to go for all the things that I want to achieve in this life, no matter what the challenges may be. Every step is important in learning and growing and to getting to that destination. And just to remember, like, because I feel a lot. I'm like a really sensitive person in a good way. Like the second I even see a tear start coming to someone's eye, like I'm crying. But
I can't get through a Hallmark commercial.
That's true.
Absolutely not. And I think I always tell myself, this is
and I'm a guy, but I think with all the addictions I went through and all that, I don't take life for granted at all. And so I feel everything. Yeah.
That's amazing. I love that. And I do too. And I always say, this is something that I want to remember, is you feel so much because you are so much, you know, and it's about being brave and showing it. We're all vulnerable because we're all human, you know, but the truth is, like, who's brave enough to talk about it? I think being vulnerable is the courageous thing you can be. So just to continue to remember, like, anything I've gone through, it's because I stayed on my path, and it's not an easy path, and every challenge was worth it. And every up, down, toss, turn, whatever it may have been, like, I want to remember it all, because it's what will have got me to where I will be. And,
you know, you're talking about being vulnerable. How about the Brene Brown's vulnerable? Or,
the power of vulnerability.
Or her TED talk. Yeah. That took her off.
I love her so much. I love the power of vulnerability. I love all the books. I love listening to her on Audible on my car rides. Just, you know, before I go to a meeting or an audition, she just knows how to do it. Brene just knows how to make you feel good, normal in this crazy world. Right. I love also just like how much she talks about, like, just eradicating that shame and how important it is to rest, to play. Just everything she has to say is great. So yeah, power of vulnerability. It's a good one.
Yes.
And there is so much power in being vulnerable. I wouldn't take it away for the world. Like, I love being a sensitive, vulnerable person. I think it's the most courageous thing you can be.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I'll make this a two-part question. What would you like for your legacy to be personally and as an actress, and also for your organization? What would you like for their legacy to be?
The legacy for the organization is our slogan. I don't want anyone to ever feel alone ever again. Like, just know we're here. So many people are here for you. I think truly that all negativity manifests in loneliness. And to just be kind. It's so easy. It's so easy to be nice.
Easy.
The world can really use a lot more love right now. It's heavy with everything going on, from the pandemic to, you know, the war in Ukraine, to hate acts, you know, these systematic hate crimes that are now happening, and hate speech. Just be nice. It's easier for everyone, including yourself, and it just feels good.
It's good
be happy
for everyone.
Like, and if you don't want to be happy, you don't want everyone to be happy, like, you need to get help. That's okay.
Right.
That's okay too.
Yes.
You need to work on it. A lot of us do. A lot of people do, I should say. So if you're feeling like you're wanting to lash out, it's probably because you're hurting, and hurt people, as you say. So I would say to get the proper help, so that it's all domino effect, right? Like if you feel good, then you treat others kindly, then they go treat others kindly. Like everyone wants to pay it forward. For me and my career, it would just be to break the damn stereotypes. Like I just
I love that. Break this wrong,
do good work, impact people's lives for the better. Hopefully everything I do hasn't, leaves an impact on someone, whatever that may be, whether it's like, oh, this character really showed me that I need to address this, this, and that, or they showed me that we can get through anything in this life, or they showed me that I can prevail over an addiction, or whatever that character may be, right? I hope that I'm just able to always serve that character and that project and the people that are producing and surrounding that project. And also that, I'm impacting lives while doing it and hopefully bringing smiles to people's faces. Those would be, I guess, my legacies in a nutshell, but a very big one because I'm an Italian girl from New York. I like to talk.
Awesome.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for having me. This has been so lovely. And I think I said it before, but if anyone wants to chat or give me a follow, I'm at Cassie Scerbo. I do like to engage with everybody as much as I can. And Boo2Bullying is at Boo2Bullying. And that's on Instagram and Twitter and all the things. So
we'll finish off with this as we end here. I got a 2-part question and then we'll close.
Okay.
The first part of the question is, if somebody wants to do what you do, what advice you have for them?
I say with passion, anything is possible. That's all it really takes to drive a movement. When I got involved with Boo2Bullying, I had no idea what an ambassador even was. And then I worked my way up to West Coast Executive Director and then to Vice President at 25. Even when I stepped into the role as Vice President, I had no idea what that entailed. And I learned because I cared. And I worked my way up to all these fabulous things we have going on and being a part of all of them and, helping be strategic and planning events and things I would never think I could do or help plan events. Obviously, there's a whole team, but it's like, as long as you're passionate about whatever that cause may be or whatever that field that you're wanting to enter may be, as long as you're passionate about it, you can really, the sky's the limit. And just like as cliche as it sounds, never give up. Like if anyone else can do it, why can't you? Yeah, we're all just human. Exactly. You can do it too with the right passion, research. Obviously, there's a lot that goes into certain things, but you'll do it if you want it bad enough. Did I answer the full question or was there another question?
And then the second part of the question is, what advice would you give a parent who has a child who wants to be an actress?
Buckle up. No, I'm kidding. Wild ride. No, I think the best thing a parent can do is to support their child, and obviously not everyone has the same financial, situations or whatever it may be. But the great thing is that nowadays there's so many like fun ways to get involved, like kind of in the industry online, or like, producing little sketches and putting them out on YouTube or which can become really big, like there's so many gigantic YouTube stars and whatnot. So, but I guess it's a little different, but if they want to become an actor, to just support them the best you can for your situation. Obviously, everyone's situation is very different. And, just to check in because it can get hard and to remember like that it is a really difficult industry. So whoever enters this industry, I strongly urge that they have a really strong support system around them because like we talked about before, there is a lot of rejection, but just know like that has nothing to do with your child or anything. It's not personal. Support them any way you can, whether that's, if you're able to get them into classes. I still take class. I think it will always be I'll always be a student, right? Like there's always more to learn in everything you do. So classes, support, and, the next step would be getting an agent. Yeah. We're getting technical and we're trying to sign on with an agent or a manager and auditions then will flow in and they're all basically self-tape nowadays. Get yourself a ring light. There's a great stand on Amazon. There's like a great like green screen, blue screen stand that I have. I use all for all mine.
Yeah, this is green screen.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah, great. Well. So those are like technical things, but just to be there for support. It's not an easy industry, but if they want it bad enough and they're passionate, support that dream. You know, it's,
Love that.
Love that.
it's an amazing feeling when someone supports your dreams and doesn't
Most
say,
definitely.
"Oh, come on, that's insane. Why you really want to be it?" No, like, "Oh, that's amazing. Anyone can do
Yeah.
it." There are so many
Mhm.
people that haven't come from much that have made it.
Yeah.
And, you know, it really just takes passion and persistence, and they'll find their way
And I think people don't realize too, when you steal someone's dream, that's usually when they push towards addictions.
Yeah,
Oh, that's very
absolutely.
true.
Absolutely. Yeah. Don't be a Debbie Downer.
Yes.
You have to absolutely wholeheartedly support whatever it is that your child wants to do.
Yeah.
And if you know, like I said, if you are I know that it's hard right now. Like if you're in a situation where you can't financially support them, they can start making really cool videos on their phone or find any way to
Yeah.
encourage them.
Yeah, because they can create a
Absolutely. Yeah,
YouTube
they can
channel and
start
start there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. So many people have
Exactly.
blown up off of YouTube and then went into the, you know, the entertainment
Mhm.
industry and became actors or musicians.
Now look at the guy who I think in 2020 the #1 income earner from YouTube was a 9-year-old, and because of all that, he was also on Nickelodeon and all that.
Toy Line and all of
So
that.
believe in your child and, you know, support that dream, because you would never want to steal, like, to basically steal someone's dream away from them. Also, there's so many resources online, like that they can take online classes, or they can like Zoom classes with great acting coaches, or there are so many articles and like online books you can read on acting. Or you go to the bookstore and there's tons of acting books, or wonderful plays they can start reading and
Sure.
practicing in their house. What's wrong with that? You know, like
you did.
start there. Yeah, learning your lines. Well, I did as a kid. Start learning lines. You know, building that muscle, and throwing something on your phone, watching it back. Yeah, just support them. That's the best you can do.
I love that. Great way to end here. We really enjoyed having you on.
Yes,
and we
we
definitely
did.
look forward to having you back down the road.
I really appreciate it. I so enjoyed speaking with you guys. Would love to come back down the road and hear about all you guys, you know, how far you've come since then, because you guys are just doing amazing. 600 of these, just wow. Like, kudos to you for really going for it. I can really commend you. And
we appreciate
thank
Oh,
you.
we appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you guys. Take care. Mwah. Have a wonderful week.
You
too.
too.
Bye.
Thanks for your time today.